I'm Brian Gumble. Tomorrow morning on today's From Rome, U.S. football Italian style.
I'm Jane Pauley, and our second hour, full fashions from Italy.
Tomorrow morning.
I'm Tom Brokaw. He's been called a cautious leader but a careless spender. Casper Weinberger, the president's point man in America's arms buildup, profiled tomorrow on NBC Nightly News.
I'm Diana Pierce.
And I'm John Bachman. Coming up next on News 11, the murder of a young child might have led to a suicide attempt late today. And the Reverend Jesse Jackson steps out to help out Minnesota's farmers.
And Prince helped out the famine relief effort by donating a song. We'll have some of it for you.
Paul Majors is off. News 11 is next.
Gold of the sun on the edge of the shore, a beautiful season is breaking.
Minnesota, a splash of excitement, cool summer fun, a fresh, new, friendly feeling with a touch of history. It's all here, just waiting for you.
Today's ideas, today's money-saving prices. That's Snyder's, your old corner drugstore.
Now with Snyder's Twin Print, you get 2 color prints for one low everyday price. 1 print to keep, 1 print to share. A great way to have all the prints you need and save money too. So bring your films to your complete photo finishing department at Snyder's, where your prints come back when promised, or you get them free.
Snyder's, the old corner drugstore for today.
For over a decade, audiences everywhere have chosen to spend a special half hour watching a television program they've grown to love. The program is MASH. By industry standards, MASH is a legend. In over 10 years, the program has won numerous Emmy Awards. But what makes MASH special is simple. People enjoy intelligent, quality television programs. Enjoy MASH late night on TV 11.
Twin Cities Action Center. News 11, your new choice for news. With Paul Majors, Diana Pierce, Tom Ryder on sports, and meteorologist Paul Douglas.
Good evening. Topping tonight's News 11, the end of the search for the man wanted in connection with the murder of a child.
And Roseville police will meet with the Ramsey County attorney in the morning to discuss filing criminal charges against Richard Wall, the suspect in a wave of weekend violence that left a 2-year-old girl dead and her mother critically injured.
As News 11's Bernie Grace reports, Wall was found late today after apparently trying to kill himself.
Richard Murphy Wall, the suspect in yesterday's shooting spree, is in serious condition tonight at St. Paul Ramsey Medical Center. Police are tight-lipped about the circumstances leading up to Wall's arrest, but News 11 has learned Wall was found at the St. Paul Hotel this afternoon, apparently suffering from a drug overdose. Police believe Wall is responsible for a wave of violence that began yesterday afternoon at this Roseville intersection.
A white male was standing outside of his car in the vicinity of Fairview and County Road C and aiming a weapon inside the car. The weapon did discharge, according to witnesses. Someone got back in his car and drove off.
Police say soon after the shooting, the gunman headed west and threw 30-year-old Mary Cole Jornson out of the car at the intersection of Highway 88 and County C. Then the gunman apparently fled south on Interstate 35. A getaway car matching the description given by witnesses was found behind the suspect's apartment. And in it, the grim discovery of a 2-year-old child who had been shot at close range and killed. The girl identified by police as 2-year-old Sarah Mae Cole Jornson was still strapped to her car seat. The youngster, along with her mother, lived in northeast Minneapolis. Mary Cole Jornson, according to neighbors, had been dating the suspect for months. Police say earlier this year, Cole Jornson turned down Wall's invitation to marry him. According to police, Wall has been arrested twice in the past on assault charges, once with a knife. And reportedly, Wall tried to commit suicide earlier this year, soon after his marriage invitation was turned down. News 11 has learned both Wall and Cole Jornson work together at this Bloomington business. The workers here say they've been ordered by police not to talk about the two. Cole Jornson, who was tossed out of the car in St. Anthony after being shot, is hospitalized here at the Hennepin County Medical Center. She's listed in critical condition, suffering from gunshot wounds to the abdomen and chest. In Minneapolis, Bernie Grace, News 11.
Minnesota Supreme Court Justice John Todd is officially off the bench tonight. Todd had resigned last month after being found guilty of cheating on a bar exam. The resignation became official today, but Todd still insists he did nothing wrong.
Minnesota farmers have not given up the battle to save their farms, and they're growing even more angry over threatened foreclosures.
No sale!
2,000 farmers rallied today in Glenwood to show their support for a moratorium on foreclosures. They got some very welcome support from a man who is more associated with racial and urban issues than rural concerns, as Dale Shornack reports.
Let's march! Berlin! Together! We will win! We will...
Jesse Jackson may seem to be an unlikely leader for the agriculture movement, but he says farmers and the urban poor are natural allies.
You cannot stand apart in isolation and die on the vine. You must come together.
Jackson even drove a tractor to the courthouse in Glenwood, while hundreds of marchers followed on foot. They carried white crosses to symbolize desperate farmers. At noon, a caravan of farmers drove from Glenwood to take their protest to the steps of the state capitol. They gathered outside the House chambers, where last week representatives refused to consider a moratorium on farm foreclosures. House Speaker Dave Jennings refused to talk to the protesters, but Senate Majority Leader Roger Moe seized the opportunity.
Exactly where you're going to have to put the pressure. You're going to have to lean on the leadership of the House to be responsive to your list of requests and to try to do something to help.
Jesse Jackson left the Twin Cities early this evening and once again urged the federal government to spend more money on farms, not arms.
The American farm has fed the nation and has fed the world, and they deserve themselves to be saved.
Jackson said he would organize a conference of government, business, and agriculture leaders to meet later this month to try to find a solution to the farm crisis. Dale Shornack, News 11.
Something did go wrong in northeast Minneapolis, and tonight there's an investigation to find out what caused at least 8 freight cars to jump the tracks near Pierce Avenue today. As the cars slammed against each other, they flew off the tracks into a nearby wooded area. Cleanup crews were called in. Fortunately, no one was injured. And it was a lot smoother going during the evening rush hour tonight. The melting snow from this weekend storm really didn't hamper traffic, just made getting from here to there a little sloppy. No major accidents tonight in the Twin Cities. And apparently most of the cleanup is over, because tonight the parking restrictions in both Minneapolis and St. Paul have been lifted.
The all clear has been given to students of Minneapolis Technical Institute tonight. Fire in the workshop area of the school sent students out of the classroom today. Firefighters wheeled in fans and hoses and had to call a second alarm to get things under control. There were no injuries. And a fire in downtown Minneapolis has left 2 people homeless tonight. The 2-alarm fire broke out at an apartment complex on East 15th Street. No cause and no injuries. The Red Cross will be putting up the residents tonight, but they'll most likely be allowed to go home tomorrow. In St. Paul, the firefighters there were also busy, but it was just for practice. A house at 947 Como Avenue was deliberately set on fire so new recruits had a chance to sharpen their skills. According to the fire department, the drill went off without a hitch.
The African famine relief effort is getting another big boost tonight with the premiere of the entire We Are the World album. It even features a song from Twin Cities superstar Prince.
Long ago, there was a man, changed on the bread, just one touch of his hand.
The album hit both the stores and the airwaves today, and besides Prince, other rock and rollers are featured. So far, the single has raised millions of dollars in famine relief aid. The album is expected to do the same. Still to come, we'll have more of Prince's new song, and we'll let you know how you can help fight famine a little later on.
Also, some key votes in the state legislature and a gorilla's best friend. But first, Bruce Springsteen's cut off the new album, the We Are the World album.
You get to be feeling kind of special because you're special at your country club market, your neighborhood store.
Family favorites, family priced. That's Country Club. Like General Mills Cheerios in the 15-ounce box, now just $1.47. And Wilson ham and honey ham, 93% fat-free, is only $1.97 a pound this week when you shop and save at Country Club Markets.
What's really special at Country Club is you.
Here comes another Embers Better Than Coupon 24-hour meal deal. Brace yourself, because you can have breakfast 24 hours a day for just $1.99, and they mean a big jumbo breakfast. 2 eggs, 2 pancakes, 2 slices of bacon, and 2 sausages. The 24-hour jumbo breakfast, 7 days a week, just $1.99 at Embers Family Restaurants. Available at all Embers locations, where your satisfaction is guaranteed. Oh, and you don't even need a coupon.
It's the early bird sale at Menards, and we're pumping out the savings. Menards has multi-purpose pumps on sale now, from pedestal and submersible sump pumps to our whopping deep well system. These high-volume pumps can bail out your basement, your boat, your patio, or pool. This utility pump handles up to 1,200 gallons per hour, and it's on sale now for just $29.99. So don't wait for water to rise. Pick your pump now and save during the early bird sale at Menards.
Big money at Menards.
The BMW 3 Series, a 2-door performance sedan for those who manage to gain affluence without losing spirit. Now BMW introduces the 4-door 3 Series, because along the way, some of us gain more than just affluence.
Contact your Minneapolis-St. Paul area BMW dealer for a thorough test drive.
The pace at the Capitol is picking up this week as lawmakers try to meet a Thursday deadline to get bills out of committees. One of those bills, the proposal to raise the drinking age, passed a Senate subcommittee this afternoon. Its next step is a move to the full Senate. And late today, the House passed a bill that would put Minnesota behind a new Supreme Court abortion decision. If the High Court overturns the 1974 ruling, the bill says the state will follow suit. That now moves on to the Senate. And a House subcommittee has effectively tabled a move to establish casino gambling in Ely. But supporters say they're going to come up with another way to reintroduce that measure.
They will sell no wine before it's time in Edina, but that time may have come. City Council is deciding tonight whether restaurants should be allowed to sell wine at their establishments. A referendum was approved by voters last November. The Chamber of Commerce in that city says wine sales will boost business at local restaurants and keep diners from heading to the 494 strip. The council hasn't voted just yet, but we'll have the results of the vote on News 11 Sunrise.
And topping Datelines on News 11 tonight, lightening up the trade war between Japan and the United States. The two countries are bickering over imports and exports, with the U.S. saying Japan won't lower barriers for our products. But today, the Japanese announced that they would try to work something out before possible quotas and tariffs are put in place. In Toronto tonight, city police are on full alert because of some terrorist threats. An Armenian terrorist group threatened to blow up Toronto's transit system today, sending many commuters to the streets instead of the subways. Police and transit system workers spent most of the day trying to track down explosives, but none was found. And a happy beginning tonight for a 13-year-old gorilla and a newfound friend. Coco chose a new kitten to keep her company after more than 9 months of mourning a past pet that was run over by a car. Now, this is not your average gorilla. Coco speaks in sign language to communicate with her trainer and her new kitten. So far, the kitten has yet to respond. I bet the kitten is just a little afraid.
Just a little bit. Now, the other ones, Coco had her special name for the other kitten,
really?
All Ball. She had her own name, so it'll be interesting to see what Coco comes up for this kitten.
Very unusual.
That
will be the sequel. You may go ape over this forecast. It really looks nice. Just about anything, though, I guess would be an improvement. 14.7 inches yesterday. It was the 6th greatest snowfall on record. These records go back to the mid-1800s, and it was the greatest 24-hour March snowstorm on record, so you survived a record-shattering March.
We were lucky enough to be here.
Only in Minnesota could you be ankle-deep in slush with a 60-degree breeze lapping against your cheeks, and that may just happen later this week across much of the state. As of 3 this afternoon, still more than 5 inches of snow on the ground within that blue-shaded area. Over 10 across much of Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Only an inch on the ground in St. Cloud and International Falls. The snow is going fast. This is one of our satellite systems that we use here at News 11. That white blob over Iowa and Minnesota is not cloudiness. That is snow on the ground, picked up from a satellite 23,000 miles overhead. Yes, it was an unusual March, a record-shattering March. During a typical March, we see 10.5 inches of snow. Last month, 36.8 inches of snow caked the Twin Cities, bringing our total up to 72.7, making this the 9th snowiest winter season on record. You have to keep in mind, normal yearly snowfall is about 48 inches. Since 82, look at those yearly snowfalls, 95, 74, and 98. And so far this year, 72.6 inches. Why so snowy? Why are the winters getting snowier? Well, the burning of fossil fuels and the greenhouse effect is one theory. As it turns out, a lot of climatologists are concerned that the burning of fossil fuels may be warming up the equator by just a couple of degrees. Now, if this were to happen over the coming years, the poles, still staying cold, would produce stronger winds. This larger contrast in temperature would, by necessity, produce stronger jet stream winds, and the stronger the winds, the more unstable the weather patterns become, the greater the chance of cold fronts coming south and moist, warm fronts coming north, and the greater the accessibility of Gulf moisture. So that's just one theory, one of many theories, why we seem to be heading into more extreme patterns during the 1980s, the greenhouse effect, and I'm sure you'll be hearing more about that over the coming months and years. Earlier today in our backyard, bright, beautiful sunshine. 44 was the high, after a low of 26 degrees, no precipitation, and sunrise tomorrow at 5:55. Right now it's clear and 35 in the backyard. Southwesterly winds at 6 miles an hour, the dew point 25, the humidity 67, and the pressure 30 even, and it's holding steady. A record 91 today in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, very hot across the southeast, 55 New York, just to our west, 64 in Pierre, South Dakota, and 61 in Denver. Some of this milder air will lap into 11 country over the next few days. 84 in Phoenix, 93 in Los Angeles, a record 83 in San Francisco. Good old-fashioned hot across much of the southwest. Here are the soggy remains of a storm that pummeled 11 country with heavy wet snow. It dumped up to 2 feet of snow on Marquette, as much as 10 inches over the higher elevations in northern New England. This frontal system will gum up our sky with some patchy high clouds tomorrow, and there could even be a shower long about Wednesday as this cool frontal system sags south of the border. In the meantime, no problems as of last hour. Clear skies, temperatures in the 30s, even some 40s and 50s to our west. The lake effect snow is tapering off across the Great Lakes and much of New England. The weather map tomorrow will show some patchy high clouds as this warm front plows on east. And this is the front that could spark a shower long about Wednesday. And behind that frontal system, temperatures will cool off the latter half of the week, but no big storms in sight. Just a temporary thaw. And we'll have the forecast. It's coming up next.
Pancakes. Of course, my grandmother would give me as many extra pancakes as I wanted. But grandmothers are grandmothers, and restaurants are restaurants.
Perkins introduces Granny's Grandest Breakfast. 3 pancakes, bacon or sausage, and juice at a very tasty price. And all the extra pancakes are free. Now, what do you say?
Thank you.
We're gonna grandmother you like only Perkins can do.
Water. Deep, sparkling Minnesota water. 37,000 years pure. Nature's finest hops and grains from the richest earth on earth. Schmidt beer. The brew that grew to be best in the great Northwest. And there's not a better taste in the world. For years, computer companies have attacked IBM's hold on data processing, only to be slapped down. Again and again. Some were too small, some too slow, and some just didn't have the weapons to fight back. Until Wang. Wang mini-computers have the firepower to blow IBM data processing right out of the office. Just give us a shot. Wang. We're gunning for IBM.
There's no time like now to own the 1985 front-wheel drive Cadillac Fleetwood or DeVille. With the things people expect from a Cadillac. Things like the peace of mind that comes with a 4-year, 50,000-mile limited warranty. People expect an extra measure of concern for safety from Cadillac, and again, Cadillac delivers. And your Cadillac dealer can deliver a new Fleetwood or DeVille right now. Remember to ask about easy GMAC financing or leasing.
I've just been handed the satellite photograph hot off the wire Hard to believe, an immense dust cloud moving in right now from the southeast. We have moisture spurting northward from the southwest and a cold front approaching from the northwest. All three weather ingredients will combine right overhead. There could be some mud showers here a little bit later on tonight and tomorrow, and as temperatures cool off tomorrow, a change over to mud flurries. Quite possible a couple of inches of dirt could accumulate, and some fertilizing may become necessary by evening. And if you believe that, all I can say is April Fools. Sorry, I had to get something in here. Here's the forecast, the real forecast. Tonight, mostly clear, a little fog, 24 to 29. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, not as bright as today, a high near 50. And the 11 outlook calls for a gradual cooling trend after a high of 54 Wednesday with a shower, back down to 46 by Friday. According to the river forecasters, the rivers and streams are receding, no threat of flooding. That is not an April Fool's joke. That is definitely good news. John and Diana, that'll do it. I'm kind of sorry about that.
Paul, I had been a victim at least 4 times today. You did not get me.
You did? Not even for a second?
No.
All right.
Have a good night.
Next year. Bye.
Unfortunately, the product of a very fertile mind.
Oh, not bad. Oh, a little rough sailing for General Mills tonight. Third quarter earnings for the Minneapolis-based company were down with a net loss of $74.1 million. General Mills says the slump comes from its decision to sell off its fashion business and spin off its toy division.
Still ahead, why counting calories just might not work for some.
But now, as we promised, more from Prince's new song on the We Are the World album.
She's beautiful. She's the Estee Lauder woman, and there's no question of who she is. Some of the most beautiful women in the world look to Estee Lauder to give them wonderful things to choose from, like white linen parfum spray, part of your gift with any Estee Lauder purchase of $8.50 or more. Looking beautiful is Estee Lauder's gift to the world. This Estee Lauder gift is yours through April 6th at Dayton's Cosmetics.
Hey, that's a good-looking yard you got there. Your grass looks great. Did you have a lawn service come and spray it? Did they spray for weeds? Fertilize it too, huh? Sure looks good. Can I ask you what you paid for the spraying?
$40.
Oh, I guess you didn't know that Green Stuff could have done the same thing for about half the price and guarantee it. Green Stuff. Call us. We'll leave your lawn nice and green at prices that leave our competitors green with envy.
Wiley, Minnesota's annual spring sale is a great time to remodel the bath. You betcha. Our new bath department has everything. Like this Visco fiberglass insulated tub. It's just $99. Kincaid shower doors built with quality that lasts. Spring sale price from $38.88. Even Merillat vanities are on sale and they're in stock. These Leveler brand window blinds are perfect for the bath. Yep. Spring sale price at 15% off and they're in stock. Cloud, Minnesota's annual spring bath sale. Direct from the factory to you.
This place gives me the creeps. It's so new and shiny. You accept credit cards? Yes, sir. You get cash discounts? Yes, sir. Disgusting.
How long for an express lube, Shorty?
About 15 minutes, sir.
Got anything longer?
Do people buy that stuff?
Oh, yes, sir. Mobile Super Unleaded gives better performance for the tire octane.
Oh, yes, sir. Mobile Super Unleaded.
It was so modern and efficient. I'm depressed.
Some discouraging words tonight from millions of obese Americans. A new study out of Switzerland claims that many of those people who finally get down to their desired weight are destined to get fat again. The study says that there's a defect in the way some people burn calories, and unless they eat far fewer calories than most people, the weight will come back on.
But a group working on the fight against cancer has some encouraging news tonight, and it says its latest project was a big success. All last week, the Minnesota chapter of the American Cancer Society sold daffodils to raise money to combat the disease. Final figures show the fundraiser netted about $300,000, beating last year's amount by more than $50,000. But help is needed for a project that helps the state's needy. The latest count by Minnesota's food share program shows that donations are way down and may not match last year's program by 750,000 food orders. Food share organizers say unless more people chip in, there's going to be less food available for those who need it.
Plenty of food for a good cause at a gathering this evening in Minneapolis, thanks in part to Mama D, who was dishing up the spaghetti. She was there to help focus attention on New Beginnings, a group home for the brain injured. There are some 50,000 Americans each year who receive a brain trauma through accident or attack, and even in recovery, they feel very isolated.
Right. We need community awareness. There's very little that is known or understood about the brain-injured population. Even though there are so many of these people in our state and throughout the country, there is very little understood or known about brain injury because 10 years ago, most of these people would have died.
New Beginnings is the only such group home in the state and can only afford a few residents. With more funding, more of the people gathered here tonight could participate in the support programs.
And from a superstar in the food world to a superstar in the world of rock and roll. Tonight, word that former Beatle Ringo Starr is about to become a grandfather. Starr's 19-year-old son, Zach, and his wife are expecting a baby in October.
And still to come, the NCAA basketball champion and our athlete of the week.
Also, Gopher hockey coach Brad Buteau may be out of a job. Tom Ryder has that in sports next.
She left, and everything golden went with her. Nothing could bring that angel to earth. To drown in her laughter, to revel in the careless scandal of her walk, to breathe her innocence with life itself. My angel. Ashes. All ashes. Was it me? Did I somehow drive her away?
There are many loves, but only one obsession. Calvin Klein's obsession.
Ah, the smell of it.
At Dayton's.
Coming in first. Going for blue.
There's nothing quite like winning to make you feel good about yourself. And a nice way to win today is to open an IRA at your First Bank. You save money for your future, and you save money on your tax return. You win twice, so do something nice for yourself. Start your IRA today at your First Bank.
Come on into your First Bank. You're gonna win when you do. Coming in first.
A Saab is engineered for those who seek out the thrill of driving. As well as those who seek to avoid it.
See one of your 3 Minneapolis-St. Paul Saab dealers.
Most radio stations program for the sheer mass audience. At the city's 97 FM, we're looking for quality. Quality in our air personalities, quality in our music, quality in our technical equipment, and quality listeners like you. The city's 97 has been called one of the most innovative radio stations in the country. We're proud of that, and we hope you will be too, because it's designed for you, the Twin City listener. Tune us in. Tell a friend. The city's 97 FM.
Pittsburgh pro wrestling fans are in for a refund. While fans at Madison Square Garden and other arenas around the country got to see the match of the century, transmission problems stopped the folks in Pittsburgh from seeing Mr. T and Hulk Hogan battle it out with Roddy Piper and Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff via closed-circuit TV. The Pittsburgh fans will get their money back, but a lot of them were disappointed to miss the big match. But you can see
She knows
the
that.
good
She
guys.
knows all those people. I know that. She follows that
A
closely.
great fan of professional
That's
wrestling.
right.
Absolutely.
What would Howard say about tonight? A major upset.
Big
No,
upset.
really, a big upset. Georgetown had beaten Villanova twice during the Big East regular season. Both ball games were close, but tonight's game was expected to be the same. Well, let me tell you, it was. To the point that Villanova wins the national championship, stunning Georgetown. Highlights in the game, the leads changed hand many times in this closest of games. With about 5.5 minutes left to go, David Wingate put Georgetown on top for the last time of the night, 54-53. Villanova came right back. Harold Jensen's jump shot made it 55-54, a lead they never lost. About 5 minutes left. Number 1 ranked Georgetown's frustration started to show in this play when Horace Broadnex pulled Villanova's Harold Presley to the floor. The end was in sight. Jensen McLean free throws iced the night for surprising Villanova, the Cinderella team of the season. They finished third in the Big East Conference behind St. John's and Georgetown. But the NCAA tournament is their kind of pie. Congratulations. Great upset. News 11 Sports has learned that constant complaints by Gopher hockey players, and in some cases their parents, plus the Gophers' less than successful season, has led Athletic Director Paul Giel to remove Brad Buteau as coach. Buteau met with Giel today. An announcement should come tomorrow. UMD coach Mike Sertich is the #1 choice for the job, but Sertich has a severe ulcer and has been told to get away from coaching by doctors. South St. Paul High School coach Doug Woog is also being mentioned as a replacement. She was a triple winner in last week's Twin Cities indoor track meet. He was named the most valuable player in an all-star basketball win over Iowa. Together, they are our athletes of the week. Here's Randy Schaefer.
With the St. Paul Harding High School track buried underneath this stuff, senior distance star Lisa Albrecht had to hit the sidewalks for a workout today. Barring any more snow, Lisa should run in her first outdoor track meet next week. But today her thoughts were on last Wednesday's Twin Cities indoor performance, where she won 3 events, the 880-yard run, the mile, and anchored the winning mile relay.
I just wanted to go out there, run relaxed, and run my best and win my events. So our team could, pull themselves together, too. Our team took the whole thing, and I'm more proud of that fact than of what I did.
Lisa was an athlete of the week last year at this time for her performance in the same meet. She talked of a strong kick then, but she says, look out now.
I feel stronger than ever this year. I've been doing some weight training and running, and I feel a lot stronger this year, but I have a lot of training to do to get to my peak.
His coach calls him the missing man because he played in the shadow of Brett McNeil at Minneapolis North. But number 32, Doug Carter, was not missing last Saturday night, scoring 14 points in Minnesota's all-star basketball shellacking of Iowa. But Carter is more than a shooter. He's an unselfish player with an eye for a flashy assist.
I can make a good pass like that. My pattern's going to follow and play a good game. I like to, make a good pass, make the crowd go. If I can do that, then, I feel I'm going to have a pretty good shooting night. A pass is always going to be there. You might not always hit the bucket, but you can always make a good pass.
Last Saturday night's game MVP is in Iowa tonight, getting ready to play Game 2 of the All-Star Series in Des Moines tomorrow night. Doug Carter of Minneapolis North and Lisa Albrecht of St. Paul Harding are News 11 Sports Athletes of the Week. Randy Shaver, News 11 Sports.
All right, and they get those beautiful plaques as well. Our News 11 free outdoor sports seminar started tonight at the Sports Show. Kicking things off tonight at the Minneapolis Auditorium, co-fisherman Tom Zananko. I was introducing him right there, and Tom went on to tell us how to catch bass in these upper Midwest waters. Zananko will be Governor Perpich's personal guide during the opener and will be News 11's expert in the month of May to get us ready for the season. Tomorrow's 7 p.m. seminar at the Sports Show will be none other than Al Lindner talking about how to catch those walleyes. Again, no cost, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. In notes, the Twins defeated Houston today 4-2. Frank Viola, the winning pitcher, 7 innings, gave up only 1 run. Viola also got 2 hits and drove in a run. They were playing National League rules, obviously.
You'll do anything to catch fish, though, won't you?
Yeah,
I mean, you'll give Zananko's help anybody.
These seminars really help. Wednesday, we're going to have dog hunting, and that's not going to help my fishing. We're going to have it.
How can you say they help? Okay, still ahead. The very high cost of higher education. How some students pay the price. Our News 11 Extra when we'll return.
Welcome to the Car Show Fall. Everything you've ever wanted in a Broadway musical, but nothing you'd expect. Winner of 6 1984 Tony Awards, including Best Musical.
Hurry! Tickets going fast. On sale now at all Dayton's and Minneapolis Orpheum. To charge, call 339-1800. Don't miss
La Car Show Fall.
Having may look risky, but I play it safe. With this and my new car. That's why I bought the GM Protection Plan. It enhances my regular warranty and protects me against most unexpected repair bills for up to 4 years. If something does go wrong, all I pay is a small deductible. Having extra protection along is a great feeling, even if you never need it.
Insist on the genuine GM Protection Plan when you buy a new GM car or light truck.
This year, we challenge you to compare corn insecticides. Compare and you'll pick the one that stands the test of performance and price. Famine. Famine controls corn rootworms, guaranteed. Famine controls wireworms, white grubs, and seed corn maggots, guaranteed. Plus, Famine saves you $2 to $4 per acre over other leading brands. So if If you really compare soil insecticides on both performance and price, you'll pick Famine. It stands the test.
Balancing your checkbook?
Right.
Getting more complicated and expensive, right?
Right, with maximum and minimum balances, per check charges, ATM charges, monthly charges, plus special 25-cent credit for every $38 less transfer charges charged.
You know, TCS Pass Card checking with its hundreds of cash machines is simple and free with a low minimum. Free. Pass Card checking is smart banking.
TCS is smart banking for all the times of your life.
The high cost of a college education is forcing many students deeper and deeper in debt. And at the U of M, the situation could be even worse. On tonight's News 11 Extra, Janet Mason takes a look at the financial problems those students are facing.
Susan Hardigan is a third-year law student at the University of Minnesota. Her college education has put her $23,000 in debt.
I once thought that when I got into law school, I'd have it made and I didn't really have to worry about anything. And now I realize, even without the loan debt, that's not true. But it'll hurt for a while, quite a while, I guess.
Hardigan is not alone. A U of M study shows that 75% of the third-year law students owe an average of $12,000. That's well over the $8,500 limit recommended by the university. And that's not the worst of it. Students in the medical school, dentistry, nursing, and veterinary medicine face an even bleaker debt picture.
We find even if you, medical students going out first year residency, that type of thing, they're not going to be making the types of money that they're going to need to make to repay these loans and also pay for their living costs, those types of things, just the standard maintenance types of costs.
One problem is college costs at the U of M have risen 66% since 1979. Tuition and fees now average $1,866 a year at Minnesota, compared with only $475 at the University of Texas. And closer to home at Iowa State University, tuition is just over $1,200 a year. To make things worse, the Reagan administration wants to revamp the federal financial aid program to make it harder for students to qualify for help. Students from low and middle-income families will be hit the hardest. U of M officials fear many students will have to go deeper in debt or quit college altogether. Janet Mason, News 11 at the University of Minnesota.
And finally, another shipment of nuclear waste from NSP is on its way to a storage site in Illinois right now. The so-called nuke train passed through the Twin Cities in just a few minutes. It left the NSP plant in Monticello shortly after 9. This is the latest in a series of nuclear waste shipments from NSP.
Now let's get a weather update from Paul.
Alrighty, wake-up weather tomorrow morning. Patchy fog, a few icy spots, 27 degrees, up to 54 by Wednesday. Tom?
All right, Paul, tomorrow in sports, the number one story will be following the Gopher hockey story. Will Brad Buteau lose his job? It looks like that may be the case.
Okay, thanks, Tom. And join Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:30.
And we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah,
Good
bye-bye.
night.
There's something magic about our children. You can see it in their smile. They're the future we are making, confident and not afraid to try.
TV11 is proud to team up with the Steamboat Springs Corporation and Continental Airlines to give these kids a lift. Because despite their own hardships, they've made a special contribution to their community. These kids care.
WKRP is not your ordinary radio station.
I was listening to you coming to work this morning. Yeah? Yeah, very bright, very, very up. Thank you. Are you taking narcotics?
But the talented staff do seem to get along. Sometimes.
Well, what do you want, damn it?
WKRP in Cincinnati. Weekday afternoons at 4:30 on TV 11.
A lot.
Days looking new and bright, and you're gonna start it right.
has more enticing aroma than any other kind.
The gold of the sun on the edge of the shore, a beautiful season is breaking.
Minnesota, a splash of excitement, cool summer fun, a fresh, new, friendly feeling with a touch of history. It's all here, just waiting for you.
Late nights on TV 11 start with MASH, followed by The Tonight Show. Then, just after midnight, it's David Letterman. Late nights on WTCN TV, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
You win basketball games. They've been winning cups of Coke instantly. They've been collecting their cards and winning great McDonald's hamburgers and fries. And now, some lucky winner may win the grand prize, a $10,000 U.S. savings bond.
The winning combination is Oklahoma 6447. That's Oklahoma 6447.
Welcome to the car show for everything you've ever wanted in a Broadway musical, but nothing you'd expect. Winner of 6 1984 Tony Awards, including Best Musical.
Hurry! Tickets going fast. On sale now at all Dayton's and Minneapolis Orpheum. To charge, call 339-1800. Don't miss
La Cajo 4.
Sometimes things that look alike are very different when you look closer, like snowflakes. Homes are like that. So are people who sell them. We're Coldwell Banker Real Estate, America's largest full-service real estate company, and we have different and better ways to help people find the right home. And those differences should give you a very warm feeling. Coldwell Banker Real Estate, the home sellers, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
Take a break, America.
Okay, is it time to bake a nasty Toll House cookie? Breaks so warm and rich and chewy. There's chocolate heaven to me, America's favorite cookie break.
Toll House cookies, warm, fresh, and oozing with chocolate. You can only bake them with Nestle Toll House morsels in the original recipe.
Isn't it time to bake the only cookie that makes? I'm busy, America's favorite cookie break.
The Auto Show, where thousands of people came to see the latest in automotive engineering.
And with all these to choose from, the people's choice is Ford Escort. Since 1980, more Twin Cityans have picked Ford Escort than any other front-wheel drive car.
Escort's performance and economy make it one of the best automotive values you can find.
And now, a special purchase of Escorts by your Twin Cities Northland Ford dealers means big selection and even bigger savings. You've seen the rest. Now buy the best. The people's choice, Ford Escort.
Pancakes. And of course, my grandmother would give me as many extra pancakes as I wanted. But grandmothers are grandmothers, and restaurants are restaurants.
Perkins introduces Granny's Grandest Breakfast. 3 pancakes, bacon or sausage, and juice at a very tasty price. And all the extra pancakes are free. Now, what do you say?
Thank you.
America loves butter. America loves butter. America loves butter. Butter makes good food taste better.
Nothing is more natural, more wholesome. Nothing makes good food taste better than the good taste of real butter.
America loves butter. Butter makes good food taste better.
We'd like to thank someone special for seeing us through the tough times.
Thank you, America.
We're thanking you, America, with 8.8 financing on new Omnis, Chargers, and Daytonas. With Thank You, America discount packages on selected cars, up to $500 cash back on selected trucks. We're also thanking America with free Aries automatic transmissions to our dealers so they can pass along the savings to you. So come on in and see how we'll thank you.
At your Viking Land Dodge dealer today.